Hello guys and welcome back to Watching Time. Today I'm gonna talk about a watch. Sorry for the title, obviously it was a little pushy trying to make you wonder what I'm really going to talk about and I don't like clickbait videos or titles. As if you follow the channel, you know very well that I tend to put what I am showing in the title immediately. But I have done this only for one reason. It took me personally totally by surprise. And just as a premise, I don't like fashion brands. Usually I am very well away from them because for one simple reason, not because it's a fashion brand, but because it doesn't bring anything new to the world of watches. In particular, it doesn't bring anything new in terms of movements or in terms of design. So they are just copies of what we are going to usually see around. This is, I think, not the case, and maybe you have already spoiled it, but it was something that I didn't knew existed. Well, it's actually brand new, it's 2025, and we are February, so it's just a couple of weeks since it was launched. But I didn't expect Gucci to do it again after the 25H, to actually launch a design that goes much more in terms of design and specifications also into the world of watches rather than the fashion one, still keeping a DNA that is very fashion like, because you cannot deny the aesthetics of this watch are actually wonderful. Obviously this is all a matter of taste, right? So what I'm saying is what I think, not really what you think. You are free to feel like this is just a box that will sit in your wrist and doesn't make any sense, and you hate seeing Gucci because some woman wears a bag or something. So that's fine. But this watch took me totally by surprise, especially because it brought back the 70s style, Genta style watch design into a modern key, into a size I was not expecting, with characteristics that usually you will find in other brands at a higher price point, and with a lot of quality underneath. So what do I see here? This is, first of all, the G Flat series. And Gucci has not advertised much or little or nothing. And I have to tell you the truth, how did I stumble onto this watch? Well, very simple. I was actually looking for a pair of earrings for my wife and I stumbled onto it. That's it. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have seen it in my radar. Why? Because nobody's talking about it. So if you're curious, please go to their website. There's not much information. And even the guy that sold me in one of the main Gucci stores, he didn't knew much about the characteristics I was actually teaching him, even on the movement. So as you probably know, 2 years ago, Gucci launched the 25H. 25H, it's a watch that has a very unique design, and they have two versions: the quartz and the automatic. The automatic goes from 8,000 euros onwards and has what they say it's an in-house movement. In reality, it's an exclusive in-house movement for Gucci, and it's a micro rotor movement, by the way. So it's an excellent movement. The watch, it's fantastic, and it's I will try to put some pictures here probably. But the point is that I got the quartz version. Why? Because I have seen both, and both have the same quality in manufacturing, the same quality on design, but the quartz that doesn't have a quartz, by the way, a second hand, sorry, actually looks nicer and it's thinner. It is like 4 to 5 millimeters, and it's fantastic. So now we go back to this G flat line. So what do you see here? You see a Genta style watch that reminds us a lot of the Bell & Ross BR05. Just as a matter of example, I have here one of my latest editions. This is a BR03. obviously, but this is a 41 millimeters case. The BR05 that looks similar to this due to the bezel, actually it's a 40 millimeters. But what you're seeing next to this Bell and Ross, it's a Gucci that it's actually 36 millimeters. And you can see it even compare in terms of flatness and thickness of the case. It is another story compared to Bell and Ross. Plus, you have this octagonal, beautiful, I think, and perfectly designed bezel that has also a nice aesthetical feature, which are the screws. On the other side, you also have a very nice dial, which it is a kind of black DLC galvanized dial. The silver one has a galvanized dial. As you can see, it is kind of a sandwich dial. It is a sandwich dial. You will find the gray of the markers. Probably you don't see it very well on the video, but you will find the gray on the markers underneath, and then you have the dial on top as a sandwich. You have Gucci, very non-intrusive on the dial. You have automatic and the double G crosslock logo, and the minutes, hour, and seconds hands that are actually half skeletonized. The date feature is there, but the color doesn't even let you think of it because it actually blends very well with the dial. So I have to say, design-wise, this is fantastic. They have actually managed to do what some major watch brands don't do, and it's bring a sense of aesthetics overall that actually matches. So this is one of the things that I actually love. It has no lume, but again, many watches have no lume. Just thinking here about the Grand Seiko, Snowflake, just to mention one, but many other dress watches usually have no lume. I love lume, so that's something, that's a bummer for me. I really like to have my lume. Then you have the design here with two screws on the bottom and on the top where the bracelet starts. It is an integrated bracelet design, although it is not a real integrated bracelet, as you can see, but it blends perfectly. And then you have a very exquisitely crafted links. These actually, as you can see, the details on these middle links, they are kind of lingots, shape of a lingot with hexagonal cuts. Hexagonal is not an hexagonal, it's an octagonal cut. Sorry guys, but that actually lets for a lot of free space movement on the straps. They are polished, and again, this is something that most brands don't achieve. You usually find the second first link of these many integrated bracelet watches that we see nowadays that actually stand like this, and you cannot do a hell of a thing. So this makes the watch bigger for a smaller wrist. In this case, you actually have a lot of flexibility. On the back, you have a butterfly clasp that actually works very fine with a very subtle logo of Gucci, and then the movement. As you can see, it is the elaborate version with a Gucci logo rotor of a Celita SW300. I have tested it, and it is losing like -1 +5 a day. So actually it has been regulated. Even they don't say anything, but it's cost regulated. Definitely the quality of these Celitas is higher than the normal Celitas that you will find. And on the other hand, you can see here that even the bracelet on the bottom part, it is actually very well done. I had a lot of trouble trying to get off the links. It is just a pin system, but it's really hard to get it off, even from someone like me that have sized a lot of watches. So if you buy it, just size it at Gucci or whatever, wherever you're buying it. The screws don't match. They don't have a symmetry. That's the only thing that I would say that probably they should have cured. I like when my screws actually point on the same direction. These ones are just pointing on whatever direction you want. Probably I can turn them into a direction that I like. It might be, I don't want to touch it. Usually when you touch the screws, it tends to actually scratch them. So it is not a screw down crown. The crown is just a push down crown. So this is water resistant I think 50 meters, if I remember correctly. Yes, 5 ATM, there you are. And as you can see, it is Swiss made, but the crown remains hidden very, very, very nicely. Very nice octagonal shape, and overall a watch that I really like. So size 36 millimeters, guys, come on, where do you find these 36 millimeters integrated bracelet watches? Here I have the 37 millimeters Seiko side by side, the navigator. As you can see, it is almost of the same size. Obviously this is going to be wearing bigger due to the square shape case. So now you will see it on my wrist, which is an 18.3 18.5 centimeters wrist, so it goes into the medium bigger size. And I just love it because it has all the vibes of a 70s watch, Genta style integrated bracelet, very nice manufacture of the overall aesthetics of the watch. It fits perfectly the 36 millimeters on an 18.5 centimeters wrist. It doesn't look small at all. It doesn't look big. It just looks right. And I think this is an important thing to remember when you are going to be buying watches. Also, the links on the bracelets are really, really nice, and they actually fit quite well and comfortable on the wrist. So I have to say, big congratulations to Gucci, and they are not actually making any advertisement on this. This is crazy. Guys, come on. This is a watch that should be among the annals of watchmaking competitors. This is not a fashion watch. It's totally out of that league. Design-wise, movement-wise, this is not your regular fashion watch. So they should be communicating a little bit more. They should be using what they created on the 25H, which was kind of a watchmaking start for them, and actually introduce this watch broadly. Give it to Houdin, give it to someone that actually starts talking about this, because there is a lot to talk about this watch. So anyway, guys, I really hope you like this video. If you like, please subscribe. Obviously, it keeps the channel living. If you don't subscribe, it doesn't matter. I will still be doing videos because I do it for the joy of just being in touch with you guys and sharing my watches. I bought this. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, just have a look at the other videos. You get to know a little bit better of us. And until the next video, please take a lot of care.